Hello everyone. So last time we were looking at what the triangular trade route was, and we looked at categorizing some of the reasons why it was established. So if you didn't do that lesson, you will need to go back and do that to be able to do the work today. What we're going to be doing today is building on our work from last time, where we categorised the reasons for the slave trade into 3 different categories. So we looked at things to do with the Industrial Revolution, things to do with the conditions in America, and things to do with the situation in West Africa. Today you're going to have a go at doing some extended writing to explain the reasons for that. So I'm going to be answering a question. To answer that question, you're going to need to use a P-chain structure. You're going to need to include more than one piece of evidence in each paragraph to demonstrate your knowledge, and you're going to need to explain how each factor contributed to the triangular trade route. Really good advanced answers are also going to link that with another factor to explain how. So your question today is explain the other reasons for the triangular trade route. You're going to start off by having a look at a model paragraph. So I'm going to talk you through that now. So last time we color-coded our sort cards, and I've done that here. What you might like to do at the moment is to pause and to check through your answers. Now there are a couple that could fit into more than one. For example, this one could also be to do with the situation in West Africa, the same as this one here could also be to do with the situation in West Africa. So, once you've got your sort cards colour-coded, you are going to have a look at answering this question. Why was the triangular trade route established? I'm going to have a go at writing a model paragraph for you to explain how I expect this to look, and then you're going to write the other 2 paragraphs. So the one that I'm going to do for you is the one on the situation in West Africa, and then when you come to do your writing, you're going to give me 2 paragraphs, one on the conditions in America, and the other one on the Industrial Revolution. So let's have a go at starting out. So my P-chain needs to start with a point, and in that point I'm going to use the language of the question to help outline what I'm talking about. So I'm going to say one reason why the triangular trade route was established was as a result of the situation in West Africa. Now it's very important that you make sure that you are using capital letters where they should be. So countries have capital letters, but also names have capital letters. So triangular trade route has capital letters. So now I'm going to start giving my evidence, my information that's going to back up my point. And to do that, I'm going to use the sort cards to help me. So I can use these ones here and this one because they're the ones that I've identified are to do with Africa. I could potentially also use this one and this one. Okay, so I'm going to say most, oh dear, I can't type today. Most Africans lived in small tribal groups rather than having one powerful ruler in charge of a country. This often led to wars or disputes between the nations, some African tribes made their defeated rivals into slaves as punishment, and sometimes they traded these between one another. So you can see I'm using some of the language that I have here as my evidence. Whilst some parts of Europe had undergone an industrial revolution, Africa had not. This meant they lacked the means to mass produce, and I'm using some really good vocabulary here, products such as guns, pots, and pans. At the same time, the Europeans, or the European nations, wanted to find new markets to sell their excess mass-produced goods. So I'm using some of this stuff here, okay? As a result, Europe began trading with West Africa. The Europeans exploited the existing cultures and customs and began to trade goods for people. This helped to establish the triangular trade route because. So, I've given my knowledge. Now I need to link that back to why that means that a trade route was established. So this helped to establish the trade route because it meant that slaves being purchased in Africa could be sold on to the plantations in the Caribbean. Okay, so I've written my paragraph. You'll see that I've used more than one piece of knowledge in here. I've had a point, evidence, explanation, structure, and I've consistently linked back to the question. What you might like to do is pause this and have another read through it and think about how it meets the success criteria. Your job now is to write the other two paragraphs. So remember, your question is to explain why the triangular trade route was established, and your success criteria is here. I've linked some connective maths that you can use to help you with some really good ways of using vocabulary to talk about that, but you can also use your sort cards that you colour-coded last time. If you would like to really challenge yourself and impress your teacher, then you can have a go at answering this question here instead, which is: the Industrial Revolution was the main reason why the trade triangle was established. How far do you agree with this statement? So to answer that question, you need to give a balanced argument. So reasons that suggest that the Industrial Revolution was the main reason, and things that suggest that the Industrial Revolution was not the main reason. And then you need to come to an overall conclusion. But that is if you are looking for a challenge. It is not in addition to this work. If you would like to find out more, then you can have a go at the extension here to research the role of Bristol in the slave trade. So have a go at writing your two paragraphs. Look back at the stuff that we've done here. Look back at your work on the categories and use all of that to really impress your teacher. Okay? Good luck!